Morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun with Benzion. Today's daf is Nedarim daf Iyun Gimel number 73. The Gemara of the Mishnah on Iyun Gimel Beis talks about a woman. She waits 12 months to get married. They set a wedding date, and the husband delays. So the Mishnah in Ksuba says she gets fed from his possessions. She gets mazonos, according to the Mishnah Rishona. Rabbi Lezer says in our Mishnah something else. He says that after 12 months, the husband gets the right to make for the Nedarim like a husband, by himself, not with the help of the father, or by himself. Chachamim say no. Only when there's actual nisuin does the husband get the right to be made for Nedarim. So the Gemara tries to compare Rabbi Lezer to the Mishnah Rishona and Mesachas Ksubos about mazonos. And the Gemara says at the end, maybe you can't say that they're saying the same thing. And the Gemara says the reason Rabbi Lezer might not agree with the Mishnah Rishona and Ksubos, right? Mishnah Ksubos says she gets mazonos after 12 months. Here it says he gets exclusive rights to be made for Nedarim, because by Nedarim, he holds like Rav Pinchas B'nei the Rav, Amar Nedaris, so the second to last line on Gimel Beis, Aldas Baila Nedaris, Kol Nedaris, Aldas Baila Nedaris. The way it works when a husband is made for the Nedarim of his wife, the reason that the way it works, the mechanism as it works, is that when she makes a neder, she's very close to her husband. So therefore, she's making it al tanai that her husband accepts it, right? Whenever she's making neder, she's thinking, oh, I want my father, this neder will only be a successful neder if I get my husband to agree to it. And if he doesn't agree to it, so therefore, even once they have 12 months elapsed and they're not actually married yet, they feel a certain kinship, a certain closeness, and therefore, she's already at that point, she's no der das baila, and therefore, he can make for the Nedarim after 12 months, even if they're actually married. It's not a matter of bailos that he owns her, and therefore he can make for a Nedarim. It's just, that's the mechanism of Nedarim. But when it comes to Truma, the Rabbanah, maybe she can't eat, according to the Mishnah Rishona, according to Rabbi Lezer. Now, it seems that we hold like Rav Pinchas B'nei the Rav. That's the mechanism that works when a husband is made for the Nedarim of his wife. However, we don't paskin like Rabbi Lezer. We paskin that ain't a Baal Meifra she comes to Shusa, right? He's not made for her until she comes to her Shusa. So actually, we hold like both of these things, right? If you hold, the Gemara seemingly assumes, if you say like Rava, so therefore, even after 12 months have elapsed, they haven't got married yet, but they feel a certain kinship, so therefore, he can make for the Nedarim exclusively. The answer is like this, like we explained yesterday, that the mechanism for the husband made for Nedarim is different than the Aras and different than the father. The father is doing it, and the Aras, they're protecting the woman. They're in charge of protecting her. She needs more protection as a Nara Marasa, therefore both of them do it jointly. The husband, the reason they gave the power of Hafaras Nedarim, the convenience of Hafaras Nedarim by a married woman, is because she's ruining the relationship, right? Her Nedarim only apply. You can only Nedarim he can be made for are Nedarim of Iyun Nefesh, where she's causing herself physical distress, or they're Beino Levena, they ruin the relationship in the bedroom. So therefore, Chazal or Torah gave the power to the husband to make for Nedarim that would ruin his relationship with his wife. His wife is trying to ruin the relationship. He has the ability to block those Nedarim to keep the marriage intact, to keep the shalom bias in the house. So because he has that power, so therefore it works differently. Now, what does Rav Pinchas B'nei Rav say? He says, Kol Nedaris as Baila Nedaris. Basically means it's like a tanai, like a contingency plan. Like when she makes a neder as a married woman, she's saying, I only want this neder to be chal if my husband agrees to it, right? So that's like the mindset of the woman, right? So according to Rabbi Lezer, that's how he understands Kol Nedaris as Baila Nedaris. There's two ways of understanding Kol Nedaris as Baila Nedaris. That the way I've been explaining it till now, that it's like a contingency, right? She loves her husband so much that she wants to do it, right? She wants to make her Nedarim contingent on whether her husband agrees, right? I'll make the neder. If he agrees, fine. If not, not. That's, a utopian world. We'd like to believe that all wives are so loyal to their husbands, they respect their husbands so much. Only if my husband agrees to it, I'll make a neder. But the reality is most women are not like that. So we'd have to reinterpret, according to the Chachamim, a different pshat in Rava, Kol Nedaris as Baila Nedaris. It's not the pshat that every woman in her mindset, she says, I'm making this neder, I'm dependent on whether the husband wants it. Kol Nedaris as Baila Nedaris. The reality is the Torah recognized that when she's taking a neder in her marriage, and since they only apply to Dvarim Shebeino Lebeina or Iyun Nefesh, these are things, right, which are important that they should be accepted by the husband. Not that she actively thinks I'm making this neder contingent on when my husband agrees to it. No, Kol Nedaris das Baila Nedaris, her Nedarim have to be, the Torah is saying they have to be agreed upon by the husband. She's doing it to ruin their marriage, right? She's doing it to ruin their marriage. And therefore the Torah says it has to be contingent. It's not that she has in mind. The Torah is saying it has to be that the husband agrees to it. And really, it's based on the concept, like the Rabbanan say, when she has bailus, when he is the sole proprietor of her because he owns her, so to speak, when he's suing, he's koning her a different level than an erusin, a full kinyan. So he has a kinyan gomer. So therefore, once he has that kinyan gomer, so therefore he has exclusive rights of mefer and nedarim. And then we can say, the construct of marriage is that the Torah gave the rights to the husband to mefer the nedarim, so the woman shouldn't ruin the marriage. Like I said yesterday, the woman shouldn't ruin the marriage. Any neder she's going to take during the marriage, which she could possibly mefer, has to be, the Torah says it has to be agreed upon by her husband. That's an explanation of Varas Nedarim of a Baal. It has to be. There's a das Baal there. It has to be agreed upon by her husband. Not that she thinks that. It has to be agreed upon by her husband. Otherwise, it's going to ruin the marriage. That's a simple explanation. I hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.